Hey folks, Oliver here, Joe Creek Organic Farm. I'm just posting this video to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me and to announce my candidacy for the October regional elections as Area E Director. I hope I can count on you to vote for me and support me in representing you in the RDKB for responsible dynamic growth. That's what I'm running on. I've lived here for 10 years in the Boundary. I love living here. It's an amazing area full of natural beauty, and although right now it's a little smoky, we have a fire that's out of control 10 kilometers to the west of us here in Wallace Creek. If you hear the helicopters in the background, the BC Wildfire Service has been absolutely amazing, fighting it from the sky and from the ground. So thank you to all the firefighters in the sky and on the ground that are working hard to get this fire under control and to help protect our homes and farms and livelihoods here in the Boundary. So I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit to those of you who don't know me, so that you have an idea of who it is you might choose to vote for if you do. I certainly hope all of you do get out and vote for either the early voting on October 5th or for the general election day on October 15th. I came originally from the coast. I grew up on a little horse farm. I went to school in North Vancouver studying film. I worked in the film industry for over 20 years as a cinematographer. I've shot movies all around the world, and it's helped me to see the world, and the more places I see the world, the more I love the area that I live in here. I realized once we had kids that I didn't want to raise my kids in the city. I wanted to raise them in the country, sort of like how I grew up. And so my wife and I moved out here in May of 2012 with the intention of raising our kids here in the countryside and giving them every opportunity that we were afforded when we grew up. If you've ever been up to Jewel Lake in the last few years and you've seen a couple of sailboats on there, either moored on the ball or sailing, if you see both of them, that's my son and I racing my boat against his boat. So myself and my daughter against my son and his friends. We love this area. It's an area of unbelievable natural beauty, and we love hosting people here. We love bringing people to the area. Those of you who know me either know me through a number of different ways, whether it's pig roasts or parties, or whether it's my rugby tournaments that I hosted in Greenwood before the pandemic. Some of you know me as the owner of Boundary Brewing Company, a brewery that I established here in the Boundary in 2015, and eventually sold in April of 2020 at the beginning of the first COVID lockdown. So not only am I a father of two really amazing, wonderful kids, but I'm a farmer and a business owner and a landowner and a volunteer. I also work up at the local ski hill. Some of you might know me from Phoenix. There was a need for a snowboard instructor, so I got myself accredited last year, and I'm the guy that's teaching your kids in elementary and high school how to snowboard when they come up to Phoenix for the school programs and for individual lessons. I'm your guy up there. So I'm a big proponent of the area. I love the area, and those of you who know me know that I'm a real cheerleader for the area and see a lot of potential that I think is somewhat untapped. And where I say responsible dynamic growth is what I mean. I mean that there are more opportunities here than just in traditional resource-based industries. I think that there's a lot of opportunity here for young families, progressive business people, people who are working remotely, new ways of doing business that are available. Also, tourism is a huge one that I'm not only a fan of for the area, but also one that I utilize here on the farm. So there's so many opportunities here for agritourism, for ecotourism, for just straight ski tourism and adventuring. There's a whole lot of stuff that I love about this area, and the more places in the world that I travel to and I see through other work that I do through film and that kind of thing, the more I realize how amazing and wonderful this area is, and I always have. It's always fun to go visit somewhere else, but it's always a real treasure and a treat to come home to this area. Some of you might also know me as a local arborist, taking down trees ready to come down and need to come down. that's another thing I do around the area. That's sort of my primary job these days. A lot of you up at Baldy who have met me this year, where we did a lot of work doing wildfire mitigation through fire smarting the community, taking down a lot of dead trees and trees close to buildings, cleaning up a lot of underbrush. That's another way that some of you may also know me. So I'm up at Jewel Lake, or just down the road from Jewel Lake. So those of you who have come up to Jewel Lake have seen the sailboats, or seen us sailing, or have stopped by my kids' iced tea and lemonade stand. I thank you very much for supporting them. There's issues of land management, of invasive species management. There's issues of infrastructure like roads and things. These are all things that need to be addressed, and I want to address, as your representative in the RDKB, I hope I can. And I hope that you entrust me to do so. I'll post more videos about some of the things that we're working on, that I'm working on, and things. And I'd love to hear some comments and questions. Message below, and send me messages privately, or post them here on this page. And I hope I get a chance to meet a lot more of you. And I hope I can count on some of your support for, like I said, responsible, dynamic growth of this area, so that this is an area that not only survives but thrives. I think it's so and without losing the natural beauty and the things that make this area special. I want this area to be developed in a responsible and thoughtful way that looks to the future. I want to address issues that people are having with bylaw issues, and zoning issues, water issues, land management issues. These are all things that are of importance to me, and I know they're of importance to a lot of my neighbors and friends and constituents here in the area. So I hope I can count on you for your support for responsible dynamic growth here in the Boundary, in Area E, come October. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.